Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Computer Group Podcast number 5. Today we have a special guest.
Yes, we do.
You. This is Fedora Man.
Fedora Man Steering-Langa. Fedora Man Studios.
Yeah.
Check us out.
We have a link below to every thing that Fedora Man does. And today we have some things to talk about. We're going to talk about, like always, Microsoft, Apple, and Ubuntu news, and maybe a little bit of site-related news, maybe, with Fedora and the Computer Group. So today for Microsoft, we're going to talk about Office 356, Surface Pro, SkyDrive for Xbox, Snapdragon processors for Windows Phone and Windows 8, and Samsung not to release an ARM-based Windows 8 tablets, Office for iPad? Question mark?
Yeah.
And for Apple, iMac 27-inch to specify, on back order again. iOS 6.1, and guess what? It's already got a major bug that Apple is trying to fix. The untethered jailbreak for all iOS 6 versions is out. iPad 128 gig, the 4.8-inch iPhone rumored to be announced as the iPhone 6 or the iPhone 5S or something new, maybe. And Apple with a cheap iPhone, well, you might have it, rumors have it, that the back of the phone is going to be plastic. And for Ubuntu, we have Ubuntu phone. They announced that at CES this year. And Steam for Linux. So, let's go back up to Microsoft and talk about...
Hold up a second. Let's just can we briefly talk about the plastic cover of the iPhone?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much just a way for them to make cheaper iPods for themselves, or iPhones for themselves. But then when they bring to the general public, it'll still be like the $200 to $400.
Yep.
And that's what I'm seeing. Maybe 100 to 300. Maybe they'll reduce that a little bit.
That's Apple. So, let's go back to Microsoft and talk about Office 365.
Alright.
Maybe?
So, this is me. Alright. So, Office 365, it's for 5 PCs, or Mac for. And with every purchase of either $99.99 a year, or $9.99 per month.
And that is the online version where you go to office365.com, I believe, and you can download all your applications and they will update automatically.
Yes.
Also, they have some
SkyDrive too. Oh yeah, they have, along with the online thing, you have SkyDrive and Skype, 20 gigabytes of SkyDrive storage and 60 minutes of Skype calls per month. And as Nick said, it's always up to date. Alright, for the bundles, you have the...
And this is for just for a single PC.
Yes. For the Office Home and Student 2013, which you can get Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and...
OneNote.
OneNote. And that is for $139. Now you have the Office Home and Business 2013, which includes Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, and Outlook. And that is for $219.99. Then you have the Ultimate Bundle of Office Professional 2013. You get Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, Outlook, Publisher, and Access for $399. And you can also buy them, by themselves. You can buy Office applications, which is Word, which is actually all of them are $110, except for OneNote, which is $70.
And then also, if you go to office.com, you can start a free trial for a month for the Office Home Premium. That's the online thing. Also for Mac. Also, might want to make a note on the Mac. It's technically the same type of Office that you previously have on your Mac. They didn't really change anything. But with Windows, you get a lot of changes.
Yeah. And with Windows, you get changes you don't want. Windows 8. Yeah. So, I'm just saying, like, for all the people who do like Windows 8, good for you. I don't want to argue with you guys. I just don't purposely like a tablet interface with a desktop computer. It just doesn't look good to me. Unless you have a touchscreen like me.
So let's go down to Surface Pro. Well, Surface Pro, if you didn't know, it was a tablet that was supposed to be out last year in December, but they changed it up, and what do you know? Still kind of the same thing as the Windows RT, but it's got Intel processor. So you can get the baseline one for $8.99. Okay, to say I've seen some reviews and different things, and they seem to like it, but it's still the same with Windows 8. Nothing has popped up in the App Store that you can really use, basically. So as specifications go, you can currently run Windows 7 applications. So that means if you have like Office 2010, you can run it. Unlike the Surface RT, you have to have Office 365. They have a 64 gig version and a 128 gig version. If I was gonna buy one, I would not go with the 64 because I've heard some things that you don't get all that space. Also with this one, you get a stylus, or well, they call it a pen, but it's actually a stylus if you want to really get technical about it. Stylus, it's got a button on the top, button on the side of the pen, and a tip, like a normal stylus. It's got a third generation i5 processor with HD graphics 4000, 4 gigs of RAM, dual channel memory. It's also got your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth technologies. Battery has the same battery, I believe, actually it has an updated battery, a little bit updated battery, but some people have already said that they really don't see a difference between the two. The cameras are the same, and on the Surface Pro you get a full-size USB 3.0. Also, you got your micro SDXC card slot that is under the stand that a lot of people don't really know that had one because no one really looks under the stand, but it is. And then your power supply, in terms of the power supply, it's kind of a big power supply for the tablet. It's sort of it's like a brick.
Yeah.
Power brick.
Why is it a power brick?
But there's one thing that is interesting on it that I don't know if people tested out, but it has a USB on the power brick. I don't know if you can maybe door charge it with USB or what.
I don't know. I mean, that would be kind of an interesting thing if you could double charge it, because then you'd be,
charge faster and everything, yeah.
Or
add like another USB port.
Yeah, or it actually, instead of charging it faster, it glitches up and crashes.
Yeah. And about it for the Surface tablet.
It looks nice to me, but like, I don't know, the keyboard is still kind of the same glitchy thing the RT was.
Yeah.
But I'm sure all you have to do is get used to it, and if you get used to it, then I guess it would be a lot better. But basically, to me, it looks just like a combination of a laptop and an iPad.
And I've used a Surface RT at Staples with the touch keyboard, touch cover, whatever you want to call it. I really didn't like it. It was hard to type on it, and you really had to get used to it because you can't like move over with it or it starts typing stuff. But I did use one that had a regular type pad on it, and I got used to that one because you could actually hover you actually can touch the keys without knowing.
Without it touching.
Yeah, without it typing stuff. And if you was gonna buy a Surface, I highly recommend you getting a keyboard thing for it, because if you don't really have one, then Surface is kind of useless, especially because it kind of gets, I don't know what to say, kind of requires it. Because the touch keyboard on Windows 8 is just not that great. So let's go down to Xbox releasing, Microsoft releasing SkyDrive for Xbox. What's your thoughts on this, Stevie?
Really, I mean, it's like the 40 gigs you get with the Office 365 being pretty useful, but I have a 250 gig memory unit on my Xbox, so I really don't use cloud very much. So I really don't see another sense of just adding another memory unit to it.
Yeah.
Because if you're like me and just save everything on your memory unit and not use cloud, then, there's really no point, because unless you're just like some people I know, that you just save, download, that you're going to have plenty of space.
Yeah. I downloaded it on my Xbox and never actually opened the app at all. Because
like the Facebook app.
Yeah, like there was really with to do. I can see my previous files on it, my previous files I have on it, but there's really still no point to it. Like, I could see maybe if you could edit like a document, like plug a keyboard into the Xbox and type a document out or something, but just viewing pictures and
there's really no point.
And videos, yeah, really no point. But also, like Stevie said, if you get the Office 365, you can you get 20 gigs extra with it. But if you were an old member to Hotmail or SkyDrive, you could have the option to keep your free 25 gigs whenever they decided to bump it down to 7 gigs. I don't know, Stevie, do you have a Hotmail account?
I do not have a Hotmail account. I do have a Gmail.
Okay then.
I need to use advertising, I'm sorry.
Well, let's go down to Snapdragon processors for Windows Phone 8 and Windows 8. So a lot of people was hoping this would come because Android was big on this, but is it enough to bring Windows Phone 8 and Windows 8 back up on the market?
I don't think so, but according to some of the guy who absolutely despises Windows 8. But I will say, when you told me that Windows 8 was out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, nobody's gonna get it except for the Windows fanatics.
Yeah, like me, when I bought 3 computers.
Yeah.
Like the week after Windows 8 was released.
Yeah, I know. And all of them now have Windows 8.
Well, except when I decided to put Windows 7 back on it.
Good. God bless it.
That's the only one that was not touchscreen.
Yeah, but then I looked at how many people download Windows 8. I'm like, oh my goodness, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But Snapdragon processors for Windows Phone 8 and Windows 8, I don't think you can put it back on top like it was when it first came out, but I think it could possibly put it like, back on the market kind of thing, like back on the map. It's like, oh yeah, I remember this.
Yeah. Also, I forgot to mention in the Surface Pro, a lot of people were reporting that stores were sold out of them, but that could be just because they probably had like 2 or 3 in stock.
Yeah, that tends to sell out quickly. If you're like another person I know who buys technology, not unique, not a friend, he just buys and buys and buys.
And a lot of people said at Microsoft Store there was no line in it. You could just go in and get one. So that could also be another thing that saying Surface still might not be good for Microsoft.
Only because if Microsoft is really saying like, yeah, sure, just go in and take it, they're not even confident in their product.
Also forgot to mention on Surface Pro, the Apple fixed site where it shows how to fix it. iFixit.com has rated the Surface Pro 1 out of 10 stars to repair it. They said if you try to repair it, you'd probably break it. Only professionals should try that if you really want to. But if your Surface Pro breaks that bad under a year, I suggest to go back and get another one from Microsoft. Force Microsoft to give you one.
If it breaks under a year, just send a very angry email to Microsoft, just telling them that your product broke within a year.
Unlike my Xbox that broke in like a week after I got it.
Yeah.
And I had to fight with Microsoft, and
after like 3 months.
Yeah, after a long time, they finally decided, and
this kid might be worth it.
And also, do you have a Surface Pro? Did they ask you for your power brick? Just make sure that you don't receive your power brick right when you receive another Surface Pro. They decide to send you another Surface Pro. Because the same thing with my Xbox. They said ship the power supply too. So I shipped the power supply,
and they gave you back the Xbox.
And I had to wait another week for the power brick to come back in because they had to go to Mexico and get it out of the factory.
It was so, guys. I'm just telling you, expect the same thing with the Surface Pro.
Yeah.
But I won't say, because I haven't used one, I won't say the Surface Pro is a bad product, but I will say that Microsoft, like their Xbox Live headset, probably it'll break within a year or 2.
So let's also at CES, Samsung didn't really surprise anyone about this, but they're not going to release any ARM processor-based tablets for Windows 8.
Oh no.
Well, I guess just because Windows Surface kind of failed through the hoop. And Samsung's like, we're not going to make this. Also, lastly about Microsoft is Office for iPad. Now, this would be so amazing. This could make Microsoft billions. I'm saying billions.
They could make a Surface Pro that would be good.
Because billions of dollars, because I know so many people with an iPad, and if they had Office, they could just take their Windows PC and just chuck it out the window. Because
or use it for target practice.
Yeah, or use it for target practice.
America.
Okay, so enough with Microsoft news. Let's get down to Apple news. So 27-inch iMac still on back order from the beginning of January.
I have a comment on this.
Very glad that I didn't decide to order one. I did debate about ordering one, just to replace my old computer, and decided to go with the Samsung bundle Windows 8 because the same amount of price, got 3 computers, and yet I still could not have my iMac.
I'm just gonna say something. This kind of reminds me of a lot of Gears of War 3. Every year at E3, what would they have? They would have some demo or trailer of Gears of War 3. They would get everyone so hyped up. And I think this is what iMac is doing, right? What this iMac is doing. It's getting everyone so hyped up every year, like, okay, finally, this is the year. But just like Gears of War 3, everyone, like, when everyone just kind of gave up, they're like, no, it's not going to come out this year, they bring it out. So guys, if you really want that iMac, ignore it. That's when they'll bring it out.
Or you could pre-order it and make sure and wait a month to get it.
Yeah. I'm back over there.
Also, something that popped up a few days ago is the current generation iMac 21-inch has showed up in the Apple refurbished store. So if you want to save probably, I don't know, maybe $100 or $200, go with a refurbished one. Refurbished one still gets everything that you would a new one, just repackaged and different things. Now, Stevie's going to talk about iOS 6.1 that was released, I believe, this month. Yeah, this month.
Yeah.
Well,
days ago, actually.
Yeah.
The place I saw it was posted, it was about February 14th.
Yeah. So it's probably, already found out it's not going to be the last release of iOS 6.1, but it's getting close. Yeah.
We can pray.
So, also they found a major bug.
Oh, yes, I've been wanting to talk. I love talking about failures and stuff. As you've already heard me probably 7 times through this podcast. Okay, so on February 13th, a bug was found that it allowed users to bypass the passcode block on an iPhone to access the phone's function and the contacts on the device. While the bug allows only limited access to the device and requires several attempts to achieve the correct timing to exploit, it is gaining significant attention today. So, and this was found on MacRumors.com. So basically,
also, if you want to know how to do it, this is how you do it.
Okay, first, you lock the device. Second, you slide to unlock. Third, you tap emergency call. 4, you hold the sleep button until the power down prompt shows. Click cancel. You will notice the status bar will turn blue. Type in 911 or your emergency number for those in other areas. And click call. Then cancel it ASAP so the call doesn't go through. Because you don't want the cops showing at your house. Because I've actually had a friend that happened to that one, but I digress. Number 5, lock your device with the sleep button and turn it on using the home button. Then 6, slide to unlock and hold the sleep button and in 3 seconds tap emergency call. This will spaz out the phone and cause it to open. Make sure to continuously hold the sleep button until you are done looking at the phone. This was found on MacRumors.com by a Mr. Eric Slivka. So, this bug, it gets on my nerves because it's
so difficult and people will find this out.
And also,
this must be someone like in a basement, sitting in a basement with an iPhone trying to bug it out.
I can just imagine like there used to be a guy I love to watch on YouTube. His name is Mr. Pregnant. I can imagine a guy who looks like him trying to unlock this, and then finally he does. It's probably this Eric Silva kid guy. I hope not, because I feel really bad for him. Yeah, here's Apple's response about this. This is also on MacRumors. Apple takes user security very seriously, spokeswoman Trudy Muller told All Things B. We are aware of this issue and will deliver a fix in a future software update. Of course, Apple will send another update. Yep, just like they do every, 3 weeks. Yep, but Also,
released Monday after the Super Bowl, something a lot of hackers and just users for your iDevices was waiting for this almost a year, and it finally came out. Stevie, tell them what it was.
It was the iOS 6, version 6, Jailbreak Evasion. It hit 7 million installs in 4 days.
That, my friends, is impressive, okay?
iDevice.
Right when it came out, I downloaded it, jailbroke my iPad, and fell in love with it. All the main applications are all up to date for the 6.1. Also, the beta that iOS 6.1.2 that for developers to fix that block issue, Invasion can jailbreak that too because Apple did not update that. You'd think Apple would update that, but I guess they didn't update that.
Well, and Administrator Jay Freeman told Forbes, as of Thursday night, Freeman's alternative app store had received visits from 5.15 million iPhones, 1.35 million iPads, and 400,000 iPod touches that were jailbroken with Evasion. The first jailbreak was also for iPhone 5 and iOS 6.1.
A lot of iPod touch screens must have been waiting for this.
I could have, once again, it could be that same guy. I'm trying to bug it.
Yeah. So, really, I don't know. This seems like it could have been released earlier, but also when it was released, video was horrible. You got disconnected from servers all the time. All sorts of things. I mean, it was flat out horrible. I mean, I had issues downloading just like a few kilobyte programs.
Yeah, I'm not an Apple. I don't really have like an iPad, iPod, or iPhone. But everyone like you does. That's where I get a lot of my information about it. Is like you or some of my other friends, and all my friends have had the same problem. It's just kind of junky.
Yeah. So, again, Apple's coming out. Well, Apple already came out with something new for the iPad. Is it an iPad 5? No! It's an iPad 4th generation, 128 gigs.
So, basically, an iPad 4 on steroids.
Yes. Same exact thing, but updated space.
I'm going to say the exact same things I said with SkyDrive. Why do you need that much space unless you're literally just downloading app after app after app after app?
Well, yeah, like my 16 gig, I found out if I'm going to buy another iPad, I've got to go with a 32, just because right now my iPad has like 1 gig of memory left. Got 1.56 gigs left on it. And it's not that I have a bunch of stuff on it, it's just,
it's a lot of apps.
I have a bunch of apps that I love to use, but they take up a lot of space. So maybe a 128 gig iPad is good, but I would love to see an iPod Touch or an iPhone have this.
Yeah. Because those actually are, they're more and more portable than the iPad. No, I'm not saying people don't carry their iPads everywhere. Because
also you gotta remember they come out with an iPad mini. I've only seen one person, and that was at Sam's Club. A kid had it. First time I've seen one that was actually getting used by a person.
Yeah, see, that's one thing I've always thought about the iPad mini is that it's really not used all that much.
Yeah.
It's basically just an iPod, an iPhone on steroids, or like an iPad. iPhone had a baby, and the iPad mini.
But guess what? You know how it goes iPad, iPad mini, and iPhone? What's missing there? There was 2 iPads, but guess what? There's only basically 1 iPhone if you want to get technical and not counting the old devices. But rumor has it that Apple, I almost said Google, might be releasing a 4.8-inch iPhone 5S or 6.
I kind of hope it's a 6, just so then, you know, there's not a series of iPad 5 or iPhone 5. My bad.
Well, they did it with the iPhone 4S.
Yeah.
4S.
Yeah, I know. But that's another thing. Basically, if I put an iPhone in a 4.8, to me, that just seems like they're just making a smaller iPad mini.
Yeah.
So it's basically either you can call it iPhone 5S, or you can call it an iPad Mini 2.
Like I like the bigger devices. Like this really reminds me of like a Galaxy Note. I so want a Galaxy Note, even if it's not connected with a carrier, just because it's a tablet, basically a tablet. They call them key tablets, pocket tablets, that fit in your pocket. Like that, I think bigger screens look a lot beautiful, and you don't have a bunch of junk to look at all on one screen. But still, Apple trying to compete with Samsung.
It's kind of to me that's a landslide. I don't really see people use a lot of Samsung devices, but every 1 in every 3 people I see is using some Apple device.
Yeah.
Like the iWatch.
Oh God.
I want an iWatch.
Forgot that was in our lineup, but well, I guess since we brought it up, we can leave that to the last of it.
Alright.
Yeah, I forgot to add that. I was going to add that on the last minute, but I forgot to. Also on iPhone news, reports have it a plastic use for a cheap iPhone? Is it gonna be just another 3GS? Why didn't they just keep the 3GS out? Oh yeah, I forgot the 3GS was let's say now horrible because it performs so horrible now.
Also, about the plastic casing. I actually was at Walmart today. I don't know. Doing it, which is at Walmart, and one of my old friends was there, and he was getting a new iPhone because he dropped his in the toilet and it immediately just busted. You put a plastic cover on that thing, it'll be more than busted. It'll like fall apart before your very eyes.
Like a lot of issues with the previous generations, like the iPhone 3 and iPhone 3GS. By the charge port, you get a little crack on the other end of the device. You get a little crack, and it didn't really do much for the performance of the phone. It's just with the idea you can't really keep them for a whole long time because the plastic finally gets worn out. Just like probably the iWatch is gonna have a bunch of plastic on it.
I just don't like that idea because what Apple's gonna do is they're going to, make it that way so then it'll be cheaper for them.
Yep.
But the question is, are they gonna make it cheaper for consumers?
Nope.
Because if they don't, then you may as well buy the better durable one and not the crappy plastic one. I'm sorry for using the word crappy. I know I shouldn't have used it. There's no other word for it.
Yeah.
I get passionate.
But, okay, let's say you have an iPod Nano.
No, I have an iPod Nano. I think it was the 6th generation. I think
that it was the smaller one, and a lot of accessories. The small one?
Yeah.
A lot of accessory companies made, watch bands to put your just put your iPod in the watch to act like a watch. But still, I'm not a fan of having my headphones go all the way up my arm to listen to music.
Well, a lot of people did that for like people who like exercise, who run and stuff, so that they can listen
But
to music.
technically, still, if they make an iWatch,
I don't know. I just want to have an iWatch just to say I have an iWatch, basically. But the question is, like, how are they going to set it up? Is it going to be like the iPod Nano? Or is it going to be like a normal, maybe a little bit of a smaller iPod, like kind of like where it goes from like bottom of wrist to about like 2 inches above the wrist?
Yeah.
It wouldn't really be a watch. It would be like a gauntlet.
Yeah.
iGauntlet.
Also, some other things I forgot to mention in Apple news is Apple hiring people for the new Apple TV.
Oh my gosh!
Is it gonna be like the original, like just an updated box, or is it actually gonna be a TV?
Or is it gonna be a car and be a fail?
Because supposedly Apple has been working with I think they were trying to buy a German TV company that made some very impressive smart TVs. So it's smart. But still, would Apple really need a TV?
I don't think so.
See, Apple is getting
Doesn't ask for that.
like, Apple is reminding me of something that we're going to talk about next is Chronicle with Ubuntu. Ubuntu TV and Apple TV?
Apple TV will still be better than Ubuntu, but I just think it's completely pointless.
Yes. Also, in Obama's State of the Union address, mentioned that Apple is going to be a manufacturer in the U.S. Supposedly starting this summer or spring, the Mac Pro, the updated Mac Pro, since the current generation has been banned because of, going to stop selling because of eco-friendly things. But they are gonna build Mac Pros when the new one comes out.
So our CIA agents will be using iPads to find the latest criminals. Be careful, evasion's after you. That's a new word for jailbreak.
So down to what we just talked about, Chronicle with Ubuntu. Chronicle shows something impressive. A lot of people really was wanting to see is Ubuntu phone at CES this year.
But the question is, will it be good? Or will it be a lot of like Ubuntu's other stuff?
Well, Ubuntu OS is good, but it's not the greatest. Because Ubuntu needs supporters. That's what Ubuntu is going off of, just the support they give you. Also, you gotta remember, Ubuntu is an African-based word, and I think the company is even in Africa or something like that. And they've done some impressive work with Ubuntu and with the Ubuntu phone, which also you gotta think Mozilla Firefox is coming out with a OS 2.
Really?
But it's probably not gonna be as good as Ubuntu, but it still does the typical stuff like everyone uses. But one key feature about Ubuntu phone is, let's say I have, let's use the Nexus 4 phone from Google. You can install Ubuntu phone on that. Like, Chronicle is, I guess, gonna make certain installers for you to install their OS on. But this is one key thing that I've not yet found out. What happens if you don't like Ubuntu phone? Can you switch back to Android? Or what? Or are you stuck with that? I think that is what Chronicle is going to have the hard time. Because even if they get a manufacturer to manufacture their own phone, Ubuntu is always based off of, if you don't like your current thing, like operating system, you can install Ubuntu like on a Windows machine or Mac.
Well, what if you don't like Ubuntu?
Yeah, what happens is Ubuntu also offers usually install.
Mozilla Fox.
But
don't give Mozilla Fox.
Also,
Firefox.
Also, Ubuntu phone is dependent. I'm saying this in all caps. Dependent on developers. If they don't have developers, then there's no Ubuntu phone. Also, Steve, have any last thoughts on this?
Not completely. You pretty much just kind of hit the nail on the head. Ubuntu, they're good, but you know, is the Ubuntu for phone going to be uninstallable, or is it just like, hey, you download it, you got it?
Yeah. Also, forgot to mention is Ubuntu phone can actually run on a lot of low-end devices. So if you don't like Android, like on your, I'm gonna say this, a lot of haters probably gonna hate me for saying this, probably your Galaxy S, maybe?
It's torture.
Maybe?
All it is just a fat phone.
So,
I'm sorry for yelling.
Yeah.
Oh, there's also Steam on Linux.
Yes, that was released, I want to say it was released Friday or Thursday of this week. Also, there's a big sale going on. All the games for Linux that have Linux support are all 50 to 75% off on Steam. Like one of the major titles I see was Counter-Strike is on that list. You can get Counter-Strike Source.
Got Linux, ain't that?
Yeah. Oh, that Steam Valve.
Oh.
Valve, yeah, Valve makes, yeah. It is
I would like to.
also on Ubuntu and runs good. So I might decide to install Ubuntu on one of my computers just to see how Counter-Strike runs.
However, for right now, and this is understandable, it just, got uploaded. There's not a lot on there.
Yeah.
So people,
don't be hating just because it does not have royal games like Skyrim and Grand Theft Auto.
It's only been on for 3 days at the most.
3 days, and it's been in beta for beginning of the year. Also,
still, it's on beta. You can't really do out of beta.
Yeah.
Because, you don't want everyone to be mooching off of beta.
Yeah. Also,
Don't be hating.
also forgot to mention this in his lineup was, well, it kind of goes with Steam, so that's why I kind of kept it at the end, is Steambox. This, at CES, they talked about Steambox. Steambox. A lot of people wanted to see one. Which, they kind of seen some prototypes, but basically, all it is a computer that runs Linux with Steam. But, this is one thing. They want people to, if you don't like Linux, you can install Windows. But, you have to buy your Windows license.
So basically, you're stuck with Linux, unless you want to spend, probably $50 to $150.
Yeah.
Unless you're, a master hacker and just put your name in there.
Yeah. But there's also a lot of analysts said why Valve decided not to go with Windows is because of licensing and distributing. That's probably why. But you also got to think the Xbox 360 is basically Windows, just a modified Windows for you.
Yeah, but I don't know. Windows. Back to Windows 8 just briefly. Just for a few seconds. Windows 8 on desktop, no go. In my opinion.
Yeah, like I've got my desktop. I don't even use the touchscreen on my desktop.
not many people do because they'll smudge at the screen. And also your touch sensitivity would probably go down over a period of time because of the smudges. But I was told one time that Windows 8 might be on the Xbox for the Kinect. That's perfect. Only because it's pretty much already on there. just not, Windows 8 covered right.
Yeah.
Like,
yes. So, okay. Also, another thing, that's kind of off topic, but PlayStation 4. They had a leaked photo of a controller that's got a lot of people asking questions. It's got like a screen on the controller. What could that possibly be?
I'll give you, there's only one of two things. One, either they're going to be copying the Wii U from PlayStation 3, or they'll make a PlayStation 4, but just basically be the kind of Sony's Wii U. But my question is, if it is a PS4, a lot of people do not like the PS3 because they couldn't play their PlayStation 1 games at first. And, of course, they ended up on PlayStation Network.
PlayStation Network and only certain PlayStation 3s to play them, and not all of them. And
so if it's a PlayStation 4, are they going to fix that? Or are they going to be able to play, I'm worried about the PlayStation 2 games. Because, frankly, PlayStation 3 games, to me, really aren't that good. Or, they're for the Xbox 360.
Yeah. Also,
so are they going to do with the PlayStation 1 games and PlayStation 3, but just make them not be able to play PlayStation 2?
Also, another thing, they filed a patent for some type of technology on discs that will not allow you to buy used copies of games.
Hold up here. They're not be able to, say I sell my PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4 games to GameStop, they're basically useless.
Exactly. They filed a patent for some type of I'm probably going to say this wrong, RFC tag that whenever the PlayStation 4 reads it, it grabs that tag and registers it with the PlayStation.
That's ridiculous.
Yes.
So now GameStop will probably go out of business.
GameStop stock market will go down.
Our little local Jailbreak. They'll go down. There's really I'm sorry, Sony, if any of your people are listening to this right now, do not do it. A lot of games people don't want to buy because they're, $60 to $70, which I'm not blaming that on you guys. Completely. There's used games, say if someone gets tired of their game, they can sell it and, it would be worth $30, $40. Then someone will buy that game. That money will be not only sent to the company, GameStop or Joe's Records, whatever, it'll be sent to you. You get a percentage of that. Used or not. So basically you guys are just hurting yourselves along with it.
Also another thing is Steve forgot to mention is GameFly and Family Video.
Yeah.
You won't be able to rent a game.
So GameFly, there'll be I guess for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, you still have one. But if you're one of those people who are Sony fanatics and
don't want to spend $60 right out of your pocket, just go to the store and rent it.
But it's not. People are not as appealing because of that program.
Also, if you want to there's rumors. I'm not saying this, but the 20th, February 20th, announcement trailer comes out, maybe? I'm not sure. But not 100% sure. Sony hasn't really confirmed it. I don't know. Haven't really looked up a lot on it. Also, another thing since we're talking about game consoles, Xbox 720 maybe?
Have they done themselves into...
Rumor has it that they might go the same way as Sony with the games, but not 100% sure on this. Also,
I heard that it might have to require the Kinect.
exactly.
I knew what you were thinking.
The Kinect, which I can see Microsoft wants to push the Kinect. But another thing that kind of makes me disappointed is if the 720 comes out, what about Kinect version 1?
You know what? I just thought of this when you said that they're trying to force it. Snapdragon. They're trying to force, that's kind of the way to force. If you want Snapdragon, it's Windows 8 or Windows 2, Windows 8 phone.
Exactly, and it could possibly use Snapdragon processor because rumor also has it that Windows 8 is going to be on it, or some type of Windows 8.
Well, like I said, the Xbox is pretty much already on there with the current layout.
Yeah, after the 52-page report was leaked last year, I looked through it, and I've read the whole entire booklet, and Xbox is kind of reminding me of, like, an TV, like an integration with your TV. Like, you can check sport, when you're playing a game, you want to check your, like, football scores or something, you press the Xbox guide button and go to ESPN's little app thing that, you like on Steam, they have like an overlay. It's kind of like that. It'll have an overlay, and you can choose different things on the overlay.
That would be pretty good.
Also, there's also another rumors about two different types of Xboxes.
Oh goodness.
One is a set-top box that just stays on 24/7 and stays connected to Xbox Live all the time, and another one that is more for gaming use. What's your thoughts on that?
I don't really see a point of making two separate ones. I understand, focusing more on gaming because, I really don't do gaming a lot.
You use Xbox Live for like communication in the app.
Yeah,
but you usually games on its own.
Yeah, right, true. But I don't, you're just trying to stretch yourself more. I'm sorry, Microsoft and Sony are going to plummet, and Nintendo will rise on top, because the Wii U is actually pretty successful right now.
It is very impressive.
They didn't have to change anything, really, except, maybe some of the graphics and stuff, but that's it. Sony with their, no use games idea, and now Windows, or Microsoft, my bad, Microsoft with their two separate Xboxes, and possibly the no-use games.
Also, forgot to mention is Blu-ray. This seems very strong for the new Xbox to have a Blu-ray.
Which one?
Well, the set-top box is, the set-top version type one that stays on 24/7 supposedly won't have a disk drive at all. It's just going to have a hard drive. That's it. And then the gaming one will. Again, it's very confusing. But
Microsoft, I love you guys. Come on.
But this is worse than making Bungie give up.
We're not making Bungie give up, and not letting Bungie edit the Halo 4.
Well, Halo 4 was very impressive.
I know.
You have to play it to just love it. I mean, Halo, I'm going to say this, and a lot of people are going to probably hate me. I was a fan of Halo 1, the first Halo. When they made the anniversary one with the new graphics company,
it was very impressive.
But then when they came out with Halo 4, Halo 1 just went plummet down on my favorite game list, and Halo 4 was my favorite Halo game of all time. Just because it's so enhanced. I don't know if Bungie could have done that. Because Bungie wanted to keep the same thing.
The only thing I would really like to say is that Bungie was more, they would make videos and stuff saying, hey, guys, I'm glad you bought this game and stuff. They were really fan-oriented. They loved the people. And the new guy, the new graphics company,
Microsoft Studios and 343 Industries, I think?
343. That sounds familiar.
I think they 343 Industries. Also, another thing that we never really seen from Bungie that 343 did, and Microsoft Studios came out with the movie Forward Unto Dawn, and it gave you a background to what's happening in Halo 4. Like, a lot of people didn't really know what this was. They thought this was going to be the ultimate Halo movie, which still is not the ultimate Halo movie. This still is supposed to be still in production, but that's been, I don't know, 3 years.
Yeah. The same thing with the Half-Life movie, same thing with announcing about making a Portal movie. But
Splinter Cell movie
would be interesting, though.
Be interesting, but I don't see it coming.
Well, I don't see it coming only because if you've actually seen the guy who does the main character's voice, Sam Fisher, I think believe his name.
Yeah, Sam Fisher.
If you see the guy who does his voice, he looks nothing like Sam Fisher.
Yeah.
And so they would literally have to get an actor. If they were going to do what fans want, because I'm a fan of Splinter Cell, I love Splinter Cell, and I know I just kind of done myself in, but I haven't played in a long time because Conviction sucked.
Yeah, Conviction was just out of the blue.
So.
I think what happened with Convention is people wanted a Splinter Cell game, and they had nothing else to come up with, but they wanted to continue Double Agent with Sam's life just tumbling out of control.
Yeah, and I kind of like that aspect of it, but I kind of wish they had still had more of a stealth.
But then, Splinter Cell Blacklist comes randomly with, let's add sneaking back.
It's like, what happened there? I do like the idea of Blacklist, though.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Like, at the end of Convention, I don't know, I don't think it was Kim charged Sam up right after, I think he saved his dog. I can't remember how his Convention ended. I haven't played it for a long time. Just because
I just played the demo, and when I played the demo, I'm like, no.
And the agent called him like, we want you back. But this also you gotta think is Sam destroyed the main headquarters and everything and different things. Killed my favorite character of all time in Double Agent.
Spoiler alert. No, I think Conviction's old enough. I think it's one of those games that whoever wanted to play it has played it.
Yeah. Like, multiplayer was interesting in Convention, but still not as good as Double Agent. I feel like Double Agent is one of the multiplayer Double Agent.
Dude, there's actually an app on Xbox Live that you can it's just for multiplayer. Now, of course, it's very, limited, but they want you to get the game, so.
Yeah. Like, I've always wanted to buy Double Agent on Xbox 360. It's just, I couldn't bring myself to buy it since I already played it on the original Xbox, and I loved it on the original Xbox.
Kind of like, I don't want to get into like a huge conversation, kind of like the remake of GoldenEye.
Oh, gosh, yes. GoldenEye, don't even mention that game. That was just voodoo. I mean, they completely messed that game up.
And see, I'm doing the Final Fantasy VII fandom, and everyone asks me, like when they do ask me, are you wanting Square Enix to remake Final Fantasy VII? And
everyone says yes, but they never do bring it out.
I do not want them to. I will tell you why. They will do what they did with GoldenEye, and they'll try to enhance the graphics, and they'll ruin, and they'll take out a lot of the storyline. Even I know that some parts seem tedious to know, but you still need to know it. Every detail they give you is important to the story in some way or another. Even the Chocobo farms are important to know about. We'll get to that in a future episode of Final Fantasy VII fandom.
Another key thing on Splinter Cell was, yes, it was good, but like, the first Splinter Cell game I loved. They had some great missions and everything. And
personally my favorite.
So now we're going to talk to Steve. Steve is going to talk a little bit about Fedora Studios while I try to find something on my iPad. And here we go.
Alright, so Fedora Studios. First off, I gotta say how I came up with the name. It's pretty easy. I'm a man. I love wearing fedoras. And, well, studios. Kind of self-explanatory. Me and Nick was actually sitting around one day, and me, Nick, and one of my other friends were sitting around, and we were watching YouTube videos, and we found, I was looking through some stuff, and I found a fan dub. It was VG fan dub, Final Fantasy VII fan dub, and I'm like, we can do this. And if anybody from VG fan dub is watching this, I'm not saying I can do it better. I'm just saying I can do it. And I want to throw that in. I don't want to offend anyone. And we also do, even though I have stopped it just because I'm so focused on the fan dub, we do some 3-minute podcasts.
Like this one's like an hour and some odd long.
Yeah, right now it's an hour and 1 minute going farther.
It's probably the longest one we've had.
It's because we're having good conversation. Usually it's just you, and now there's 2 people, so I make a little bit longer.
Get a little bit more conversational. I just say news and go on.
But we do some Fedora Talk, which is my podcast. Also, we do Fedora Picks. And I'm bringing which is Fedora Picks, my top 5, top 10, and 1 top 20. I was going to do a lot more top 20s, but then, since I have to edit and put in pictures and stuff, and you gotta make sure the time slots are alright, never again. I'm never doing a top 20 again, so I'm doing top 5, top 10. But I'm adding a new installation for a brief moment. It's called the Anime Showdown Tournament. For this week, or for this while, but before I put the promo, you guys get a little sneak peek. It is Itachi Uchiha from Naruto and Naruto Shippuden against Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII. Who will win? You decide. But, so that's pretty much Fedora Studios. We do have a Twitter at Fedora Studios. We have a Facebook page. Once again, Facebook.com Fedora Studios. And also we have a website
that really needs to be updated.
It really needs to be updated.
I need to log in and try to do editing.
I think I might do that when I get home. Yeah. But so I mean that's pretty much all of Fedora Studios. Episode 2 is in the making. I just have to get a few more lines and I can start actually editing. So that's pretty much all I've got. Oh, not only am I temporary editor, Nick will help me edit when we can find time, hopefully during spring break or over the summer. And I am also a voice actor in it. I voice Cloud Strife. And I also voice an avalanche member named Wedge. I know those who watch Team 4 Star that sounds like Krillin. That's pretty much how I based off his voice. That he's just a comic relief. So, that's all I really have for about Fedora Studios.
Okay. Little quick update on the computer group. I know this site hasn't been updated a lot. I know I've been pushing it off, but I've been working on something very impressive. Also, we'll be coming out with another video series. Not going to show you it yet, but Steve, you might already know what it is, a type of one. But also got some news I want to say. April 13th, we are going to host a Google Plus Hangout to show off something new I've been working on, and Stevie's been looking at it. I don't know if he's been to it recently. Nothing's changed much on it, but yeah. Like I know I really kind of need to update review site a little bit. I really hope to get that done sometime, but it's just I've been pushing it off. I have my mind on other things.
School's going too, guys, so be a little bit more patient with us.
And that's about it. Also, we would make a quick update on what time that we're going to host a hangout. We're not going to have a live hangout, but we might record it through a Hypercam program on the computer.
Yeah.
Stevie's going to be in there. Woo! Some other friends are going to be there.
Hopefully not one.
But we really would appreciate if you guys would join, say hello,
or, even, you can also, if you guys want to, you can, ask us questions.
Yeah, ask us questions.
I'm going to hopefully sometime host the Fedoraman Studios Q&A session. And you might even see Wedge. I'm sorry, I love doing that voice. I know it probably gets annoying to some, but, there's just a lot of, there's a lot of things going on in the world of Fedoraman Studios and the computer group. So, this pretty much kind of permits the idea of our, partnership that we finally, me and Nick's been planning to do one for a long time together. Do a podcast or, the Nick Tech Show. But we never found time. Today, he messaged me on Xbox Live. He's saying, hey, what are you doing today? Not much, just horsing around. You think we want to come over? Sure. So, there's the outcome.
Okay, and one last thing. I kind of want to start doing a shout out YouTuber thing. But I've had some users I wanted to give a shout out to, but I haven't seen a lot of updates from them. But one user I want to kind of talk about would be do you have any good people on your channel to shout out? You know them?
Well, I do have to give one to my good friend Anthony Lopez. Him and one other person, he doesn't have a YouTube account, but him and one other person have auditioned for everything that we have. Now, whenever I send out an extras, he will send an audition for every single one of them. And, I feel so blessed. I have, two, my other voice actors. I know I don't tell you guys enough, but I feel like the luckiest man in the world just to work with you guys. You guys are very cooperative. You guys, if I didn't like a line, you're not like, oh, I don't want to do it. You guys do it at your own pace, and, I think that's why I think our stand-up will be successful. It's not only the work put into it, but the relationship that we have, hey, can you do this a little bit different? Sure. I mean, it's really good people. And one quick note, I have to do a public apology to a certain person. And his name is Tanner340. Dude, I'm sorry for saying what I said on your How to Make a Great YouTube video. I didn't mean it to be mean. I was just saying, you can do better. I've watched your videos and you have so much intelligence. All you have to do is find a way to voice it and voice it effectively. And you will skyrocket and you would probably become the next John Rambo Presents. Okay. So, well, that's gonna be ending
the podcast. Hope you like, subscribe, and sorry this is kind of long, but that's okay. If you have nothing else, if you have an hour and probably 10, 11 minutes, just watch it. You'd have fun. I hope you had fun. Also, if you don't like what we said in the podcast, that's fine. Beanie has something for you to say.
You know, if you guys truly, you didn't like what we said, don't be hating us. You know, we have our opinions, you have yours. That's what makes America great, is because two people can have different opinions, and they'll be perfectly fine with it. So, I mean, you know, you can voice, you know, hey, you know, I think, you know, comment, you know, say, hey, I think that iOS 6.1 is great. Good for you. You know, it's your opinion. We have our opinions, you know. I personally, I encourage listening to other people's opinions, but, you know, just don't hate us. Don't, you know, send us hate mail.
Also,
yeah, we don't want any of that. Yeah, see, you can make a video response, but I'm just gonna tell you, we ain't got time for that. Oh, I'm sorry, I had to put that trend on here.